And SGAP is also pushing hard for collaboration with the big players, the World Bank, the Asian Development Bank.
Money guys.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And also working with regional groups like ASEAN and SARC, trying to get them to prioritize the Asian highway in their funding and development plans.
And tourism keeps coming up as a potential benefit, too.
Yeah, that's seen as a major upside. The
Yeah.
logic is simple.
Yeah.
Better roads make it easier for tourists to get around.
Right.
So suggestions include upgrading roads near tourist spots, building rest stops and info centers, running promotional campaigns, creating better maps, and just getting the road people and the tourism people talking to each other more.
Coordination.
Always. There was even an SCAP study back in '99 that pointed to bad roads as a major turnoff for tourists along the highway. So fixing the roads helps other sectors too.
So fixing roads helps tourism, helps trade. It all connects. But back to the money. How are they suggesting countries actually pay for all this?
Well, one key strategy is getting governments to really buy into the importance of these highway projects for their own national development.
Making it a priority.
Exactly. Giving them a higher slot in the budget queue, making them a priority when seeking loans. They're also encouraging things like national and provincial road funds and looking seriously at public-private partnerships, getting private companies involved to bring in cash and expertise.
Okay, so trying different angles to find the funding. Now, thinking about the countries involved, South Korea, China, Russia, Turkey, Thailand, India, Bangladesh, big players, even North Korea showing some interest. But is there a sense that maybe some could be doing more to lead?
That's an interesting point. Some observers feel that maybe the big hitters haven't shown a really strong, coordinated push for this regional connectivity.
Hmm,
There's a suggestion, for instance, that India perhaps could have taken a more leading role, maybe something like China did with its Belt and Road Initiative.
why didn't they, perhaps?
Well, it could be complex. Maybe some geopolitical concerns, like worries about China's influence in the region, played a part in India being perhaps a bit more reserved. It adds another layer to what looks like just an economic project.
Fascinating. And that leads to another idea mentioned, creating an international road organization. What's that about?
The thinking there is to have a dedicated body just focused on supporting international road projects. The argument goes that other transport modes, like aviation or shipping, have strong intergovernmental groups backing them up.
Like ICAO for aviation.
Exactly, but roads lack that kind of high-level, dedicated support. So this proposed organization could work with SGAP, but really focus on harmonizing rules, setting standards, offering technical help, basically, being the champion for international roads.
That actually makes a lot of sense. A dedicated body could potentially streamline things, tackle those coordination issues we talked about.
Potentially, yes.
And connecting Asia with Europe seems like a major long-term goal here, too.
Definitely. Better cooperation between SGAP in Asia and the ECE, the Economic Commission for Europe, is seen as crucial for making that happen smoothly.
What would they do?
Things like harmonizing the technical standards for roads and vehicles, aligning rules and regulations so trucks and cars can cross borders more easily between the continents. And you also have various other big initiatives that kind of overlap and contribute, like China's Belt and Road, South Korea's Eurasia Initiative, Kazakhstan's Western Europe, Western China route. They all feed into this bigger picture of connecting things up along the Asian highway routes.
Right, it's all part of a bigger connectivity puzzle. Okay, let's shift gears slightly. One source really focuses on South Korea and their work on, what is it called? Intelligent ICT-based smart highways. Sounds very futuristic.
It is pretty cutting-edge stuff. What's really cool here is how proactive South Korea is being about building tech right into their roads.
How does it work?
Well, these smart highways use a whole array of electronic sensors, cameras, observers, transmitters, receivers, all linked together using advanced ICT, AI platforms, and the Internet of Things, IoT.
So connecting everything up.
Yeah, connecting the road infrastructure to the digital world. The goal is to generate real-time data, use that data to make better decisions, think traffic management, safety warnings, and ultimately just make the driving experience better for people. Highways that think, almost.
Highways that think. I like that.
Hmm.
And this was a specific research project between VE designers and the Korea Expressway Corporation.
That's right. A collaboration running from 2020 to 2023. VE means value engineering, basically. Designing for the best function at the lowest cost. Their main goal was to shake up the VE process, specifically for building these smart highways,
Okay.
and make it work not just for brand new roads, but also for upgrading existing ones and even designing the spaces around them. It's a whole system approach.
And this fits into bigger plans in Korea, right?
Right.
The Korean New Deal.
Yes, exactly. The Korean New Deal is this major national strategy to push South Korea forward as a leader in tech
Hmm.
and also in the green, low-carbon economy. It has pillars like the Digital New Deal and the Green New Deal. And there's also this second landscape policy basic plan aiming for a 100 years of national landscape with the people. So these smart highways fit right into that larger national vision of progress and sustainability.
Are they actually doing this now? Pilot projects?
Oh yeah, they're actively testing a smart safety system using AI and big data. And they're setting up integrated information systems for construction safety too. It's all about using data and AI to make building and running highways safer and more efficient.
And drivers are noticing the difference. The source mentioned high-pass systems.
Yeah, the multi-lane high-pass toll systems. They use ICT for automatic tolling. User surveys showed people found them much safer, faster, and just easier to use compared to the old single-lane toll booths.
Clear benefits, then.
Definitely. Tangible improvements for drivers. And it's interesting how much thought goes into the design of these smart highways in Korea.
Like what?
Well, even the overhead gantries for the high-pass systems, they're focusing on making them look innovative, aesthetically pleasing, not just functional. Plus, really careful planning for safety stuff, signs, lane markings, user convenience, and environmental impact are big factors. They even use specific methods like cost-performance evaluation and weighted composite evaluation to help make those design choices. It's very methodical.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up, bringing this deep dive to a close. The Asian Highway Network, it's this incredibly ambitious vision, isn't it? Huge potential to boost trade, tourism, development across Asia.
Absolutely huge potential.
But while there's been progress since it started, it's clear there are still major hurdles. Funding, coordination, these keep coming up.
They're the persistent challenges, yeah.
But efforts are ongoing, improving standards, promoting the project, pushing for cooperation. So there's hope for the vision. And then running alongside this, you have places like South Korea pushing the boundaries with smart highway tech.
Mm-hmm. That gives us a fascinating look at where road infrastructure might be heading globally, focusing on safety, efficiency, and just the user's experience.
So it leaves us with a couple of thoughts, perhaps for you, our listener, to ponder. As you think about this massive project, linking up whole nations with roads, what kind of impact do you think it will have if it's successfully implemented on global economics, on cultural exchange in the coming decades?
Yeah, that's a big question. And maybe another one, how might these tech advancements like the smart highways in Korea change things even further? How will technology continue to shape transportation networks all over the world, connecting not just places, but maybe bridging that gap between, old infrastructure and new innovation?